What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week, which starts once again on Monday, tomorrow. So definitely make sure to comment your favorite cryptocurrency or altcoin down below, one you see the most potential in, or so on and so forth. And I'll be picking one to review starting tomorrow. More importantly, what we're going to be looking at in today's video is the ever-recurring cycle of constant trading sideways that's been happening within most of the crypto market. We're also seeing Bitcoin specifically retest $30,000 week after week with constant small corrections to the upside, which seems to have been forming some sort of downtrend that's allowing us to maybe get closer and closer to breaking that 30K support level. So if you guys are interested in learning how to capitalize on a trade like this, how I'm buying in and selling short, definitely stick around. More importantly, today's video is sponsored by Nimbus, so if you want to learn about different ways to make money within this crypto space, definitely stick around till the end of today's episode as we're going to be going in depth talking about their platform. Otherwise, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump into today's episode. Alright, so as you guys can see, I am on the current coin market cap, and for the most part, we're starting to see consolidation once again. It seems like after yesterday, as we mentioned, closed its daily chart, or daily candle right above the resistance level at 30K, we decided to correct back up. It was a small buy-in opportunity that we talked about was a more aggressive trade, as there isn't really much more room to head to the upside, but creating that stop loss, which we'll show you in a minute, will just recover ourselves in case we correct lower, or if we indeed head up even higher. So the markets overall are starting to actually pop off and head a little bit higher up. We're up about 3.72%. Overall, in regards to the weekly charts, we're still down like detrimentally, like about 10 to 11%. But more importantly, today we're starting to see a small correction to the upside. Now, if you look at some of these cryptos, just to start with Bitcoin, you can see how we're slowly starting to bounce off this bottom support level right here, which we discussed yesterday. If we closed below here, it was a good opportunity to short it to 20K. Or if we closed above, which we did, was a small buying opportunity to leverage this up to the upside and retest maybe 34,000 and change, and then sell us off right there because we're probably going to correct back down even lower. And even if we didn't, we would pop off and head back higher. But regardless, we are now looking at some of these other cryptocurrencies too, like XRP, which you can see is in that same consolidation boat. There seems to be some sort of support level that we're currently retesting. It's without a doubt right around here that shows some sign of support where prices are having a tough time breaking through. Now, this is not nearly as impactful as cryptos like Bitcoin or Ethereum are starting to see, but there is without a doubt some sort of uptrend right here, some sort of support that just doesn't want to be broken through. You can see this is pretty much actually where we decided to break off from. Once we decided to break through that resistance level in the past, that's when prices soared upwards. So I can see how this is starting to act as a means of support. But notice it's not as strong and impactful as Bitcoin is because we've actually closed below here, unlike Bitcoin, which hasn't closed below here. So it's something we're going to have to talk about in a minute. More importantly, looking at Ethereum, you can see we're still in some sort of sideways trend. I guess for the most part, across most of these cryptocurrencies, there is some sort of horizontal support level or channel that's holding right here. It does make sense. There are some resistances we've battled in the past and we've had wicked below here down to the support level. But ultimately, most of the cryptocurrencies overall are still inside a fairly bearish descending fractal, which will ultimately break us and probably correct us back down to bottom support. Same thing is applying itself with Litecoin. It pretty much looks the same across all the cryptocurrencies and all the tokens. You can see how we're retesting bottom support here, and we are only left with consolidation. And then once we retest this top down trend and this resistance, will probably break bearish and correct to the downside. Obviously, we will have some precautions and stop losses set up in case we decide to reverse back out of that and eventually retest the top of our moving averages on the daily. But until that day comes, we have to still be more bearish. Now, most of these crypto markets and bearish cycles have lasted lengths of a year or so on and so forth. And honestly, the longest we've been in this was only for, let's see, for the entirety of what we're in right now. I just want to pull up the date range. I'd say it's from the start right here, April 14th. We're now into December or June 27th. So it's been pretty much April, May, June, about to start July, about 4 months. So we're not out of the woodworks just yet, but we are starting to make some leeway. We might be starting to find off the bottom. That's really what we're ultimately looking for, is that bottom support level. Truthfully, I believe that most of these markets are going to correct about 80%, and that's where we'll ultimately find a bottom support and then consolidate on that as we've done back in 2017, 2018, and then we'll start to get that volume we needed. So 80% or 80, yeah, about 80 to 90% is that bottom, that rock bottom support level I believe most of these cryptos will go to. And you can see for XRP, that's if we break through 60 cents, there's a good chance we'll correct all the way down to 26 cents, and that would be the bottom for this crypto. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, that same thing is applying itself, and I'll explain how I'm buying into that crypto, or how I'm buying into XRP in a minute. So notice the bottom for Bitcoin was right around here. So I just want to draw the same sort of trend. We have the price range from the top down to the bottom was about, at the lowest point, 85%. That was pretty much the rock bottom support level for Bitcoin. 85% correction. Unfortunately, it lasted quite some time. You can see overall the date range from its prior break to where its bottom was about a year. It took about a year, so we're almost halfway through that, which is good. I mean, this really wasn't that long. After that year, we started to correct back up. So there are going to be some really good buy-in opportunities coming to crypto, coming to Bitcoin in the near future. I do believe that markets are cyclical, and even with this major correction, I don't think we're going to go down as low. Now, understand that an 85% correction and about a year of consolidation does take its toll on the market, and we should be seeing prices, drop fairly low. Now, understand that even though we are starting to see a big drop, and even though we might see that 85% correction on Bitcoin, there is still some bullish news that will ultimately lead us to pretty much moving higher up. Understand that there is still uptrend and there are still higher lows forming on this coin. I just want you guys to understand that really quickly. Even if we correct downwards, we're still going to create a higher low. Understand that there is still some sort of uptrend. Even though we're seeing cyclical pumps to the upside, we should ultimately still be heading up. And you can see that kind of right here, that pattern that I'm starting to draw out. Even if it's more like this, I mean, there's still some sort of uptrend that is forming that we have to pay fairly close attention to. I'd like to say it's ultimately, it does look like that. I mean, it's really hard to say that we don't. I mean, it could pull us right down to $12,000, and that would be where that support level is, but it's definitely a hard pull. Let me just remove this on the back here. So this is what you guys have to understand. Looking forward long term, you guys can see that there's a clear uptrend that is forming. We are still creating higher lows in the long-term scheme of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So understand the first run that we had back in 2017, the bottom was about $770. Flash forward, the bottom once again was in 2019 at $3,500. We flash forward again, bottom in 2020 was $5,500. So even if we continue to follow this uptrend, it should create another higher low, even if we correct below the moving averages on the weekly like we've done in the past. But understand where exactly this moves to. Let's say we create that 85% correction once again. Understand that that pulls us back down to support. Notice this is 82%. Even if we fell to 85%, look at where 85% lies. 85% is right here, right at about April 10th. That's the beginning of about an 85% reversal on the market. It's currently only June. We're entering July. So we have July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. It's quite a long time away. I understand that, but there is some sort of bottom that we have to anticipate. Now, if we consider the point of correction, this is only about 125 days. It's ultimately not that long. So from the start of, where is this? We have... Now, why is this starting here? Yeah, we started back in April. It would be about a year, or January, February, March, April. We have May, June, July, August, September. Wait. Yeah, from right here, April, we have May, June, July. It ends up correcting back in, it's quite a whiles away, but we could easily see the prices correct back down quicker than that. Retest 85 quick. It doesn't necessarily have to be closing a daily candle there, even if we wicked down towards it and ultimately correcting up, because I don't want to, spread any FUD, but we are closing up the end of 2022. We might see it kind of hit 2023. I know that's a little scary to some people, but understand that's realistically what we're looking at. It might take a long time ultimately, even if we flash crash down and corrected. We hit 11,900, corrected a wick down to $8,000, that would ultimately send us back up. So I'm looking for that bottom on this uptrend here that would ultimately carry the prices higher. I know that's a little shaky to some of you guys. I know that's a long term or long ways out there. But I do think realistically we are going to get through this this bear market, and we are going to correct back up. And it's pretty much once we retest bottom support here, become oversold, then we'll open up some good doors to buy into, into Bitcoin and into cryptocurrency. So that's really where my head's at. Obviously, the first approach to things would be breaking through our $30,000 support. We discussed how yesterday was a good buy-in opportunity if we decided to close, or regardless, the fact that we're retesting some sort of support or resistance level is enough to buy in. It's better than trading in side channels here. Those are, too much risk involved in buying into a crypto. But the fact that we are retesting bottom support or retesting resistance, they open up good waves of buying in, because volume will usually sink in pretty harshly into a crypto, and that allows us to trade it fairly conservatively. So with the fact that we closed above here, the second we saw closure, it was a good opportunity to buy in, and we started to rally back to the upside as anticipated. So buy-in is already in. This was a good buy-in opportunity, and we are swinging this to the upside, slowly moving the stop loss up, as I do believe we're probably going to get rejected off top resistance here, and eventually start to reverse back down to retest $30,000 again, and with the ultimate chance that we correct and break through and fall down to $19,000, as there's not much resistance holding that. But understand, extending this out, there is some sort of bottom here. Understand there is a higher low pattern forming. So even if we correct lower, let's say it hits us back in July of 2022. That's about a year from now, guys. Understand that would take a while. From the point of breakout, that's quite a lot of time. We started in April and landing back in April right here. It could be a year. It might be a little longer. We're going to see more correction and more reversal, I think, in the long term. But at some point, we are going to retest this uptrend. And once we retest this uptrend, that's the buy-in opportunity. That's what's going to swing us back to the upside. So it's really just waiting for correction, waiting for consolidation. There is still plenty of money to make in a short opportunity to the downside on this crypto. Don't forget that. And I know I spent a lot of time talking about Bitcoin, but XRP is literally just going to follow suit. XRP is literally going to see that same correction. There's still the same uptrend, and that's ultimately going to send us back to prior highs. You can see it's a little different though, but there is some sort of uptrend here that we might be able to divvy out or draw in. You can see it might be something like this. A little more of the bearish side here, but something along the lines of that may be considered as a support level. But who knows? I don't need to leave it up right now. We are retesting our moving average. Hopefully this is the bottom. I hope to be completely wrong, but it just all makes a little too much sense. Hopefully we retest here and start to head back up. But if Bitcoin, as we know, breaks through that 30K resistance, or the 30K support, it is going to pull XRP all the way back down to 24 cents below its moving average, which we've done countless times at this point here. So just keep your eye out for most of these cryptos. Right now, I do have that small position in that we discussed would happen on Bitcoin, and I'm just letting you guys know that was a good opportunity right there. So we'll see how it trades out. Good chance we're going to probably get liquidated once we retest about 34.5 or 34 and change. But that's pretty much it. Consolidation's happening on Ethereum. Expect to see a dump down to 1,400. Litecoin as well. We're expecting a dump down to $68. But the S&P is kicking, guys, and that's how we're going to make our money through this bear market. So definitely let me know what you think. Otherwise, I have a little bit of information to talk about Nimbus. I want to give a huge shout out to Nimbus for sponsoring today's episode. So for those that don't know, Nimbus is a DAO-governed DeFi platform that offers 16 earning strategies for users based on DApps for IPO participation, startup financing, and so on and so forth. Now, it's a cross-chain solution with its functionality expanding onto BSC. Users can leverage these opportunities via NBU, Nimbus Utility Token, and GNBU GNBU, their governance token. With 50,000 active users, Nimbus is a fast-growing alternative offering high yields in a space that seems to be growing faster than ever. So, the Nimbus team's ultimate goal is to create the DeFi ecosystem that would offer the most rewarding and transparent financial tools that meet users' needs worldwide. A sure way to achieve that is to let the community shape the Nimbus platform in its own best interests and receive monetary incentives for doing so. Also, in recent news, on June 24th, their GNBU token got listed on PancakeSwap, which is awesome. This is the world's largest DEX on Binance Smart Chain. Unlike most governance tokens, GNBU offers numerous benefits to its holders and the Nimbus community as a whole. When all the DApps are launched, the Nimbus shall offer 16 earning strategies for users. NBU holders need to understand that they have to choose which ones they want to participate in, while GNBU holders will simply receive cuts from all the 10 revenue channels at once. This collects all the incredible opportunities of the entire Nimbus platform into one single token. So basically, in the long run, this mechanism not only enhances the utility of the governance token, but also its value in the market. So most governance tokens typically allow the holders to receive rewards from maybe 1 to 2 revenue channels, if any at all. And if you're not already keen to voting, the only way to really benefit from such tokens is to trade them or exit one day. But GNBU dramatically revolutionizes this landscape. It combines 3 opportunities at once: holding for a wide range of ongoing rewards, voting to ensure even brighter prospects for the future, and swapping at the exchange. That's the third. This poses GNBU for big success in the market and enhances demand, ramping up all 3 benefits even further. After a successful launch of its utility token, which has reached a market cap of $35 million in just 2 days after the release, Nimbus listed its GNBU governance token on Uniswap, the biggest decentralized exchange, which was pretty much the reason for the major surge in volume. Thus, anyone can pretty much become a part of the project. Also, Nimbus recently announced its plan to get listed on the top North American stock exchange by the end of 2021, which offers even more prospects for bigger moves within the GNBU token as well as the holders. So this simply will be your chance just to get into GNBU. You can simply just start by inserting the token address on PancakeSwap, which I went, of course, and listed in the description down below. Otherwise, huge shout out to Nimbus for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.